Hey guys, Mr. Banker here today, and today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on our first project that we complete in the workshop, which is the workshop stool. The first thing you need to do is come over here to create, then hit document. Now you want to name this stool. This is the third time I've done this, so I'm going to make it stool 3.
One eternity later.
So this is our drawing window. This is where we're going to create our parts to make the stool. Now the stool only has 3 parts. It has a leg, it has a footrest, and it has a side rail. We're going to start off doing the leg. We're going to go up here to sketch. We're going to then click on top. We're going to look down on top of top like this. We're going to go over here. We're going to use a center point rectangle. And we go from the origin right here in the middle and just draw it out like this. We're going to go up here to dimensions, click, then click again. And we're using 15 by 15 RHS, so we're going to type 15 there. Click, click, 15 again. And you can see how everything here is turned black. That means it's all in the correct position and it's been dimensioned back to this center point here, which is helpful. So what you want to do is make sure that everything in here is black. We have no blue sides. Click the big green tick and we have a square here. Now that square is just 2D. It's like drawing a square on a piece of paper. But now what we need to do is we need to draw it out so it is an actual 3D leg. We come over here to extrude. Then we click on the part we want to extrude. And you can see here that it's starting to stick out a bit. Now if we look at our plans, we can see that the overall size of our workshop stool is 600 mil. Now 600, take away 15 for the top rails, is 585. So that's how long we want to have our leg be. See, it's nice and big. We're going to come over here to part 1. Over here in the parts menu, right click it, then you click on properties. And this little menu is going to come up. And what we're going to do is we're going to call it a leg. In the description, we're also going to call it a leg. And we're also going to have in here 15x15x585 RHS. Hey, that'll help us out later on when we go do workshop drawings. And this is part number 1. So we're going to save that. And you can see over here in the parts menu that it's renamed this to leg. Now I'm going to click on this little eye icon here, and that's going to hide that leg away so we don't see it anymore. Now what I'm going to do is going to do a second sketch. So I'm going to go here to sketch, and I'm going to click on front this time instead of top. I'm going to click over here, make sure we're focused in here, and again we're going to go to center point rectangle, click on the origin, and bring it out like this. Dimension, click, click. 15, click, click, 15. We're going to extrude that now, and this is going to be our leg rest. So if we look at our plans, we can see the width of our workshop stool is 300, which means that this leg rest needs to be 270 because it has 2 lengths of RHS on each side that are both 15 by 15. So that makes 30. So now we have a piece coming out that is 270 long. We're going to hit that tick. We're going to go once again down here, go to properties. Name it footrest. We're going to put footrest in there as well. It's going to be 15 times 15 times 270 RHS. Part number 2. Save. So we're going to click that little eye icon again and it's going to go away. We're going to go to sketch and we're going to go front And then we're going to go and click on this thing here so we know it's focused on the front. Once again, we're going to use the center point rectangle. Click, click, 15 by 15. And this one we're going to extrude by 300. Go over here, go to properties again. Call it side rail. Side rail again. 15 by 15 by 300 RHS. Part number 3. And that's all we need to do for this section here. What we're going to do now is we're going to move on to the assembly part down here. So we click on this assembly tab, and this is the place where we put our stool together. So we're going to go over here to insert. We're going to get a leg. We'll put one leg in. We're going to put 2 legs in. Okay? We have now 2 legs. We're going to click on one of them, right click on one of them. We want to go down here to where it says fix. So we click on that, and that makes sure that this leg won't move anywhere randomly in this workspace here. This creates a solid foundation to build the rest of our stool from. Now we need to have one of these side rails. We're going to come over here to this Fasten Mate tool. It looks like a cylinder. So we're going to click on that one there. We're going to zoom in to the top of the leg. When you zoom in, it zooms in towards the mouse cursor. So when you want to zoom in towards something, you need to put your mouse over where you want to go, then use the scroll wheel to zoom in. We're going to click on the side here, making sure that all these little dots around here are there. That means that this surface is the one that's going to stick to the other one. So we click here. So where that little disc is where the join point of this thing's going to be. So we zoom back out. And we're going to zoom back in down here. I'm going to rotate so I'm looking at the underside. I'm going to click on this one here. And that's going to join those two just like that. Big green tick. So that's how we want it right now. After we've done that, it automatically gives us the same tool we're just using again. So we can now go and zoom in on top of this one. Click on the side, zoom back out, rotate around, zoom back in, and click there. If something goes wrong and this isn't in the right position, you can use these 2 tools here to flip it around in the right way. See, this one just makes it go in the opposite direction. And this one will rotate it around. So what we need to do now is insert a footrest. Now this footrest, we're going to use the Fasten Mate tool. Come in on the end of the footrest, making sure all the dots are on this side. I'm going to click there. Rotate, zoom in again, and click there. Now, this isn't a very good place for a footrest. What we need to do is come over here, and there's this little checkbox that we need to click. Click on that, and it's going to have all these offsets here. As you can see here, there's this little compass that's shown up. Now, Y is the one that's going up and down this thing here. Now, this can change. So you need to have a look, make sure you're going on the right axis. So I'm going to go here to Y, and I'm going to put in -200 because the green one is facing down and I want it to go up. Putting in the negative means it goes up like that. So now we have one side of our stool. What we're going to do now is we're going to insert 4 of these footrests. So if we click on this 4 times, we're going to get 4 instances of this footrest. They're all on top of each other, but that doesn't matter at the moment. Go over here to Fasten Mate. Zoom in again on the end. Click. Zoom in up here. Click. So you can see that mine has joined strangely. I'm going to click on that. And then I'll rotate it around. So you can see because I chose the middle of this one, it's gone to the middle of this one. So I'm going to use the offset tool again. And I'm going to move it 7.5, and that's going to put it in there. We don't want to have to do that all the time, so we want to try and think of which space is going to be the best place to join this thing. So if we come down here and we join with that corner there, and then we come over here and join with that corner, they've joined together like that, and we don't have to offset it. We're going to join this one. This one we need to offset. It needs to go up 150. We're going to do the same thing to this one here. We have our one side there, and we have the bits in the middle. Now we just need to put on the other side over here. We're going to insert now 2 legs, a side rail, and a footrest. Use the fasten mate tool, and we're going to start with the side rail. I'm going to come in here, click there, zoom out, zoom back in, click there. Now we're going to come back over onto the leg. Click on the corner. Rotate underneath. Click on the corner again. And we do the same thing for this side. On the corner. And the corner again. The last thing we need to do is this one here. Now this one here we need to offset. It needs to be -200. And that is our stool all put together. What we need to do now is add in another tab down the bottom here for where we put our workshop drawing in. So we go here to this big plus button, click on that, and we go up here, it says create drawing. Now this little list is going to come down here. The template that you need to use is ISO_A3. So clicking on this show OnShape drawing templates, it's going to show all the ones that are there. Alright, this ANSI one is the American one. If we go here to international standard, we want to go there and we want to go to A3. We're going to use that one. This means all the things that we're going to be putting in here is going to be the correct drawing standard. Now to get this to be Australian standard, what we need to do is change this from being first angle to being third angle. So what we need to do is we need to go over here to this little spanner symbol where it says drawing properties, click on that, and then we click on this little symbol up the top here where it says views, come down to the first drop down menu and hit third angle. Once you got that sorted out, we need to come over here to where it says insert view. We go there and then we hit insert. We go over here where it says assemblies, and we're going to have our assembly one where we put that stool together. What you're going to want to do is just click that down there like that, and it automatically picks up the projection tool. As you pull it up like this, you'll get your top view. Click on it again, pull it out to the side, you'll get your side view. Click on it again and draw it out at this angle this way and you'll get your isometric view. Those are the 4 views that we need. We need face, top, side, isometric. We're going to put in our dimensions, which is the same tool that we used before. We're going to click on this, draw it out, make sure it's a sensible distance out. Click on this side here, draw it out. This side here. We need to know how big that side is there. And this one here. Now the trick with doing dimensioning is to have the minimum amount of dimensions possible. We need to have these few ones here, and that's all the dimensioning that we need to have in here, because that there, we can see that that's 270. That means that one's 270, that one's 270, and that one's 270. That one's 300. That one relates to this one over here, so we know that that one's 300. So we don't need to have the 300 over here as well. We have our height of that footrail, and we have the height of this footrail. Go to this tool here, it's called BOM table. And we click on that, and then we click up on the side here. And what this is going to do is generate a table of all the parts that we've used. And we just need to change this so that everything looks nice. So you can see that all that information we put into the properties before has been put into this little list here. We're going to come down here. We're going to double click on this and we're going to call it Workshop Stool. We're going to go one line down, double click on the next line, and we're going to put in here Gundagai High School. You can see in this list here, it's already put your name in there. See, it's my wonderful name there, and it's also put the date in here. So we don't need to put any of those in there. This is drawing number 1. This is also number 1. This is version. There's a few things that we can put in here to make it easier for somebody to make something from this. So we're going to go over here, we're going to go to welding symbols. What we're going to do is we're going to put in a fillet weld, which is right there, that triangle. And we're going to click that little all around thing. And we're just going to click where we know that we're going to need to put that in there. If I put a symbol there that says fillet weld all the way around, we know we're going to need to go there, 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 and there with a fillet weld. We don't need to mark every single one. For this welding symbol, we're going to go fillet weld, and then on the bottom side, we're going to say fillet weld. And we're going to put that down here. Now what this means is that you're doing a fillet weld on each side of this. So it'd be the top and the bottom of that. So you would have no welds on the front sides. And that's all you need to do. And so this is now finished. So all we need to do now is export this out of this program so we can have it into a format that we can hand in or print out. So we go over here to these 3 little lines, usually called a hamburger for some reason. We go here to print. What this is going to do is spit out a PDF called drawing something. If we open this up, we're going to have all that information that we put in there in a nice little thing. Now this document, we're able to upload to wherever you need to upload it to, or print it out, or anything else that we need to do. And that's all we need to do for this drawing.
I'm in my mum's car. Broom, broom. Get out of my car! Aww.